Hi everyone, it's Maud here again, and welcome to your dynamic deep stretch class for the shoulders, the hips, and the inner thighs. We'll do some neck stuff as well. And so for this class, we're just going to give some attention and TLC to the shoulders that easily feel tight or closed in, abused or ignored, and the hips as well as the inner thighs. So it's a little bit of an active deep stretch today where we're not just going to hang out, we're going to get some energetic adduction between the legs. And so we get sort of that integration up the core, up the chain, and just make you overall feel good. So prop wise, we do need a bolster. So if you don't have an official bolster, grab your biggest and longest pillow and then wrap your pillow with the thickest blanket that you have. That way you can establish the thickness that I'm wanting you to have, because we will actually be putting our feet on top of this furniture. And then if you have a yoga block or two yoga blocks, that would be great. If not, grab big books, grab tin cans from your kitchen, something that you can put your hands on. In this case, I have the block already on top of my bolster because we're going to put it underneath the head. And so if you don't have a block, grab another pillow, a throw pillow, or whatever cushion that you have. Otherwise, we are going to get started. So place your furniture and the head prop on there. I'm going to turn here to the side. Place your bums on the mat and take your time to make your adjustments as you lie down with your back on top of your prop. So make sure that the head prop really is supporting your head. Make sure that your lower back feels great, feels good. No questions asked. Like, you can just come here and arrive. And then as soon as you feel a little bit settled here, then you can drop your elbows down. You can drop the backs of the palms down. And then make your fidgets with the hips and the knees. So maybe sway them side to side. Perhaps also swaying the neck and the head side to side. So we're basically taking some time to set ourselves up right here. And then once you're done, then you start to feel settled. And you allow the liberation in the chest. You allow the elbows to feel heavy towards the ground, palm facing the ceiling. And whichever way your toes want to turn, just let them behave the way they want to behave. You can close your eyes or just have like heavy eyelids here and cast your vision down. Take some time to notice the earth underneath your bums. Take some time to acknowledge your weight on that earth, your mass, your surface, your coverage, your physical coverage on your yoga mat, on whichever space you're on. And perhaps you notice the air around you, the environment that you're in. And if you already are exposed to certain distractions, visual or audio distractions, this is the time to practice getting that breath to be your focus. So take a deep inhale through your nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Inhale through nose. Sigh it all the way out. One more time, cleansing breath. Inhale in. And then sigh it out. Then you can close the lips together, part your teeth behind, and let the tongue relax up in the roof of the mouth, right behind the teeth. And if that doesn't work for you, just manage so that your facial muscles are relaxed. Relax the hinge of your jawline. You kind of get to a gentler, softer place. As you start to notice the breath and make the breath that distractor, the most effective distractor. Notice not only the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe, but notice the expansion of the rib cage front, side, and back. Expanding as you inhale, coming back to center as you exhale. And do that a few more times, inhaling and exhaling out through the nose. Or you can exhale out through the mouth if that feels more comfortable to you. Just be conscious and aware of the breath. Take your last breath here to introduce yourself to the practice. Inhale in, and then exhale out. Beautiful. You can blink your eyes open. Keeping your elbows down and your hands down, do some free-form shoulder rolls right here. Rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. Keeping with your mission to keep the chest open. Two more rolls, perhaps. And then start to squeeze the shoulder blades together so your chest will pop up, and so maybe your ribs, but draw your ribs back in, and almost like you want to pin your bolster or your furniture in towards your mid back or where the shoulder blades meet. Perhaps you're feeling the fabric of your furniture being sort of squished and kind of squeeze in between. One more breath, inhale. And then as you exhale, interlace your fingers together. Palms open up towards the ceiling, lengthen your arms up. And on an inhale, bring the arms overhead to the wall behind you, keeping the palms facing back. And then as you exhale, palm face the ceiling. Next inhale, you're going to lift your arms a little higher so the palms are closer to the ceiling. Imagine the shoulder blades are drawing away from the spine. And as you exhale, you drop the shoulders down, shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. Inhale, bring the arms back. Palms towards the wall behind you. On an exhale, come back to center, palms up. Inhale, bring it closer to the ceiling, shoulder blades away from the spine. Exhale, draw them in together. One more time. Inhale, lengthen up. We're going to stay here for about 4 more breaths. So notice if your ribs want to pop up, draw them back in. Feel that fire sort of in the belly, in your core. Deep breaths in. Deep breath out. Slowly lift them up towards the ceiling. And then draw the shoulder blades away from each other, protracting them away from the spine. 2 breaths. If you have really tight wrists, you're starting to feel this as well. As you exhale, draw it down and towards each other. Squish your furniture. And then slowly release. Shake your arms and shake your wrists if that felt good to you. And then step the feet a little farther apart from each other and start to introduce these wider windshield wipers before we get on to our next poses. Listen to the lower back. Notice if anything else in the upper body wants to respond, or that you're unnecessarily recruiting, like the jawline, maybe your eyebrows. Nice job. One more on each side. Beautiful. And then step your foot in a little bit. And then step your left foot towards the midline. And then right ankle is going to be on top of the left thigh. And already flexing that ankle, toes towards the ceiling. Look at your right knee and just get your right knee as far away from your chest as possible. And your hands can just hang. And so we already did the windshield wipers. What we're going to do is we're going to start with some small sways left and right with the knees and the legs. And you can start small. And the reason I say that is I really want you guys to listen to your lower back. If it needs a little bit more padding, grab a towel, grab another blanket, pad it, or sit on top of something. So cater to what your body's telling you to do. Maybe do a few more sways left and right. Bigger sways this time. One more left and right. And the next time you're on the right side, you're going to drop your right knee down to that right side, keeping the right ankle on top of that thigh. Do the best you can to let the left shoulder blade feel heavy, squished on top of your furniture, and chest remain smiling and open towards the ceiling. Now draw your belly in. So it's almost like you want to lengthen your lower spine down towards the wall in front of you. And then you breathe. Closing the eyes. Get your eyelids heavy. And be patient right here as you take your last 2 breaths. Last inhale. Last exhale. And then come to center. Keep the figure 4 shape. And now we're going to drop the left knee over to that left side. Perhaps your right foot, your entire right foot's going to be down on the ground. Look at that right knee and same thing, draw it away as far away from your chest as possible. This time, right shoulder blade is heavy. Squishing into that furniture, chest up towards the ceiling. Arms relaxed, hands relaxed, but feel the weight of the elbow grounding you down. There's some activity behind the right shoulder blade, so let that happen. And take one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Nice job, you guys. Slowly come back to center and then release your right foot down. This time, left foot or left ankle is going to be on top of the right thigh. Open up the left knee and the left hip, flexing that ankle, maybe perhaps separating the toes. Just wake the legs and the lower extremities and small sways left and right. Again, listen to your lower back. If it's trying to talk to you and tell you something, cater to it. Pat it, sit on top of something, a cushion perhaps underneath. Make your sways bigger. What if you slow down a little bit? Or what if you sped it up a little bit, kind of a choose your own adventure. And just do one more sway left and right. Next time you're on the left side, drop the left knee down to the left side, keeping that figure 4 shape. Heavy on that right shoulder blade. We kind of have been here before, but it's a different orientation because it's a different leg that's on top of the other. But our mission is the same. Opening up the left hip. That right leg is turning in. We want our chest to feel and stay open. Soften the hinges of your jawline and be here. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale. Come to center. Keep the figure 4 shape. And with all awareness and gentleness, get on that right side. Left knee away from the chest. Do your adjustments of the upper body. Heavy on that left shoulder blade. Elbows grounding you down. Face is still relaxed. And then breathe. Perhaps your entire left foot is on the mat. And that's okay. As you deepen the breath, notice what happens when you exhale. Not only physical baggage or physical weight, let any emotional and maybe mental weight and baggage sort of be released as you exhale, even for just this practice. Last full breath, inhale and exhale. Let it out. Nice job. Slowly come back to center. And then place your left foot down. And then just roll onto your right side and place your right temple on top of your head prop. So whether that's the block or the pillow, you can grab the other block if you want to place it between the thighs or your other cushion, your other pillow. Your right arm's just sort of going to hang out in front of you. But I really want you to be on your entire right side here. And I want you propped well. And then let's get this opportunity to do some shoulder rolls on that left arm. And I don't want noodles here. I want heavy sticks. So take advantage of the fact that we can circumduct or make circles with our shoulders this way. Because one day we'll wake up and we'll miss this day where we took these things for granted. Go the other way, please. Perhaps you engage your fingers to lengthen out. So you're really reaching out. You're not just making these circle shapes. Last circle right here. And the next time you're done, left hand behind the head, poke your elbows towards the sky. This is your center. Keeping your right arm down. The next time you inhale, you're going to roll the body back, send the elbow behind you, and as you exhale, just come back to center, elbow to the sky. Inhale, open up. How's that left shoulder blade? Squeeze it towards the spine. Exhale, elbow to the sky. Do this 2 more times. Rocking back and forth. And maybe your spine is starting to talk to you. Maybe your lower back. Or maybe your mid-back, your obliques. And back to center. This time we're going to go the other direction. Inhale here with your elbow to the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to curl in so your left elbow wants to touch your right arm, but it's not going to, or it may not. Inhale, open up. When you open up, squeeze that left shoulder blade, that left scapula towards the spine. And then exhale, round it away from the spine. Retraction of the shoulder blade towards the spine. Exhale, protracting it away. And do that one more time. Exhale. Now next time we inhale, we're going to roll all the way back. Exhale, roll all the way forward. Inhale all the way back. 4 is our magic number for today. So do these for 3 more rounds now. And make this a journey. Please make this letter C shape, this crescent shape, semicircle with your elbow. And do not shortcut the process. If you can travel an inch farther, please do so without toppling over to the back. One more time. Open. Exhale, round. Next time you open, you're going to dangle your left arm behind you or just place your left hand on the hip. Either way, you're going to sort of roll back where you were. Open up the chest and just hang out here for a couple of breaths. Feel the weight of the elbow weighing you down in a good way. Opening up the chest. Shoulders a little bit active behind. And then slowly come back to center. Place your palms down on the mat. Shift your hips to the center line. I'm going to be facing away from you for this next round, so I apologize. But then just get the left side of your body, the entire left side, on top of your prop. Make your necessary adjustments, perhaps your hair, like I did, or your clothes. Just get everything feel settled so that you can just enjoy the practice. Block or cushion still between your legs or your thighs to get some breathing room for the pelvis, and then the left arm can just hang in front of you. Whenever you're ready, heavy sticks for that right shoulder, that right arm. Perhaps also lengthening your fingers out. So you're really reaching out as you're making these big, big, big circles. Let it feel heavy. Like I said, not noodles, but heavy sticks. Feels good. And then do your four circles in the other direction. Nice job. Once you're done with your last circle, place your right hand behind the head. Poke your elbows out to the sky already. That's your midline, so it's not in the back, but it's towards the sky. Inhale, roll yourself back. Exhale, rock to the middle, elbow to the sky. Inhale, rock back. Again, 4 is our magic number, so you got 3 more to go. If you're making some other movements outside of this, just make sure that those movements are helpful to you. And that they're actually making this experience sort of deeper or perhaps better for you. This time we're going to go the other way. Exhale, roll forward, right elbow wants to touch your left arm. Inhale, up, elbow to the sky. 3 more times. Rock with patience. No quick movements here. That means no quick breathing either. Nice job. This time we're going to rock all the way back. Inhale. And then exhale, rock all the way forward. Doing that 3 more times and making it productive, almost like every inch your elbow is traveling has value. It's part of the practice. That's what makes the experience special. 2 more. Rock back. Rock forward. Notice which part of your body talks to you as you rock back. Is it your lower back? Is it your obliques? Your middle back? Maybe your jaw is clenched. Ay, ay, ay. Perhaps not. 1 more time. Rock all the way back. And once you're here, make your necessary adjustments so you can just dangle that arm or just place your right hand outside that right hip. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last breath, deep inhale. And as you exhale, come back to center. Get the block between your legs out. Shift your hips here. And we'll just lengthen the right leg forward. And then send the left knee towards the chest. Perhaps interlace your fingers on top of the left knee or the left shin. Squeeze it up towards the chest. And as you squeeze it up towards the chest, then you're going to sway it left and right towards the outside and the inside of your body. Just very small, subtle movements. And then on your next exhale, just drop that left knee towards that left side, opening up the left hip, but center the body towards the sky, towards the ceiling, so you're facing up And your right butt cheek is down on the mat. You're not collapsing or tilting towards that left side. And then slowly back to center. Right foot in, left leg long. And then set the right knee towards the chest rather. Squeeze it in. Hands towards your shin or your knees. And once you feel all the way compressed, then just sway it little right and left. We're going to be folding at the hip quite a bit and quite for a long time later. So this is sort of preparing the body for where it's going. You know, I try to be thoughtful like that. Next, exhale, right knee towards the right. Open it up. Left leg, left butt down on the ground, keeping your chest square towards the sky, and breathe. Still feeling settled. Instead of unsettled and questioning, just give in and surrender. Nice job. Release to center, roll onto your right side, and then gently push yourselves up into a child's pose position facing your prop. And so with child's pose, if you know that your lower back still feels tight, and definitely prop yourself. So sit on top of something, grab the other pillow, grab another blanket. Otherwise, you can just get in your child's pose. Make sure that part of your bolster or your pillow or your burrito, rather, is actually between your legs. Like it's touching your legs. And if you still want that head prop on there, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can remove it and you can hug it in. It's just a short sort of child's pose break. And so you can drop your forehead down towards the pillow, or you can turn towards the right side or turn towards the left side, whatever your choice is. If you've turned towards a particular direction, then you can just drop the right or the left side of your face down. And again, without question, try to just surrender. Let gravity do its job. We're just going to be here for a short while. Relaxing the fingers. And then slowly turn to the other side if you turned your head. Otherwise, just keep your forehead down. Child's pose is a resting pose. So if your mind is still swirling, if your breath is fast, then now is actually the perfect time to use that breath. And find some groundedness in your physical body, and then your mind, perhaps your emotional state will feel a little bit more settled too. And then just palm the mat, slide the hands in, and then gently lift your torso up. So I want you guys to kind of push your bolster towards the higher or the upper side of your mat, and just make sure that your two blocks, if you have them, or your two props, are already on either side of the bolster or your burrito. If you have sensitive knees, and I'm just going to show this even though my knees are fine, place a blanket on your left side now. So you can kind of see that the burrito is here ahead, and then there's the blanket on this side, because that's where you're going to plant your knee, and that's the part that needs protecting, right? So place your left knee on top of the blanket, and then as gracefully as you can, place your right foot on top of the bolster. And then already putting your palms and your hands on top of the props or your yoga blocks. And then you're not in this square lunge, and you're also not in this deep, deep lunge as well. So find this nice middle ground where the knee's definitely behind the hip, but it's not too behind, and you have no opportunity to just dump and sink. There's still some integration here. So keep yourself upright. Put your toes ahead of you, and with your palms in the block, find a little sway left and right. Know what it's like to favor one side or to tilt to one side, so you know what it's like to be centered. And then find your center. Tuck the toes in the back. And keeping your chest upright, but keeping the back of your neck soft, imagine you're squeezing your thighs together energetically, but they're not going to go anywhere. Imagine your right heel wants to slide back, but it's not going to because you're using the muscles inside the thighs, the adductor muscles, to just wake him up. And it avoids any opportunity to just sink and dump. So feel integrated right here, a little bit of lift from the ground up because your core just got awakened, right? This fire that you built in your adductor muscles between the legs. Add some heat. You ignite the left butt cheek to help open up the left hip. One inhale here. Full exhale. And then get the block on the right over on that left side. So it's right beside your left, the block on the left hand. Turn your right toes to the right. Again, avoid any chance, any opportunities to just sink down and sink low. Waking up the left glute, squeeze that left butt cheek. Keep your chest upright, but the back of your neck is soft. Now this time, we're going to squeeze our inner thighs together energetically and notice where you're feeling it at. Definitely the groin area, right? If you have your yoga blocks, try not to put your fingertips on top of them as much as possible. Just place your entire palm down. Relax the shoulders any amount. Inhale here. And then exhale, keep squeezing them together energetically. We're all beings of energy. So let it flow. Light it up. And then point the toes forward. Send the block to the right once again. We're going to get into a half split. So look at your left hip and make sure that it's right on top of your left knee. Move the blocks close to you if you want. And then lengthen your right leg out without compromising the left hip and the left knee relationship. Palm your blocks. And for now, we're going to lift the toes away from our prop. Inhale here, lengthen the spine. Send your right hip back and down. And then exhale, find your fold, and you don't have to fold a maximum 150%. Just fold enough to feel sensation, especially here in the belly of the hamstring. That right hamstring. Big breath here. The only thing you're going to change is what if you plant your toes down and notice where you're feeling that change. There's a stretch in the front of the feet, right? Perhaps some of you are feeling this somewhere else. Maybe in the calf. Breathe in one more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Don't sink, fold. Next time you inhale, you bend that right leg. Heel toe your right foot outside of the bolster and then place one of your props on top of the bolster once again. We're going to get into lizard. Untuck the toes in the back this time. Send your elbows or your forearms down towards your prop. Whether you're using a block or not, it's just fine. You can just get your hands together. Keep the deep bend on that right leg. And yes, even though the back toes are untucked, squeeze your thighs together still. Inhale. And then exhale. Feel that fire. Feel free to let go of the fire if you feel like it's making you hold your breath, right? Get the fire going while you keep the breath going. Like that's sort of the skill that you want or the ability. Otherwise, come in and out of that squeeze, the energetic squeeze. You notice your left knees towards the left edge of the mat. your right foot towards the right edge of the mat. So it's a little bit wide lizard, and it's good. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Nice job. Hands on your props. Release your upper body up. Just swivel your left your left ankle behind that knee. Grab your block on top of the bolster, and you can place your hands on top of the blocks if you want, and then set your right foot on top of the bolster. There you go. So the left knee and the right foot are not going to be in a straight line. They're going to be in that slanted position. Open up your right toes towards the right edge of the mat, the top right edge. Now, keeping your upper body open, place your hands on the hips. Feel kind of loosey-goosey in the upper body. And as you exhale, slowly bend the right leg, get to that right side, and point the toes towards the upper top right of the of the yoga mat. I can't tell one prop from the other today. I'm sorry. Again, instead of sinking down, squeeze your thighs together, and you'll notice it makes you lengthen your tailbone down. It wakes up your lower belly energy, your lower belly core. And so that's a good thing. So these are sort of waker uppers, but we also are stretching. So a lot of stuff is happening. So just soften the face as if there's not a lot of stuff that's happening, even though we know there's a lot. And then breathe. Inhale here. And then exhale, slowly release. Let's find a nice neutral pose. Grab one of your blocks or your cushions. Get that right knee down so that both knees are in a high kneeling position. Place the block or the prop between the thighs. Now, as you squeeze it in, notice what happens. Your butt wakes up and lengthen your tailbone down. We're just going to put our hands on our hips. We're not even going to do camel. Just squeeze the thighs towards the block. Feel that energy. Keep the upper body relaxed, but there's definitely some core stuff happening. Something's waking up. And then exhale. Beautiful. All right. Now, we're going to get to the other side. I'm actually going to transfer my bolster over to this side so that I can look at you guys. But my blanket is going to be on the right edge of the mat, and my bolster is going to be sort of still on the upper side of my mat. Place your right knee on top of the blanket, just to protect it. And as gracefully as you can, place your left foot on top of your bolster. So here's the thing. We know that the foot is elevated. That increases the compression and the flexion in the hip, right? That's the part we want to be mindful of, but it shouldn't take away from the experience. It should help deepen it, add a variety to it, right? Blocks on either side of the bolster. Again, you're not in a square lunge. You're also not in an all the way deep lunge. Find your middle ground, that middle spot. Tuck the toes in the back. Wake up the right glute to open up the right hip. Then palm those blocks. And then squeeze your thighs together. You'll notice right away this side will feel different than the first one. Breathe. How's the breath? Try to make it fluid instead of choppy. If your mind starts to wander, which it will, that's okay. Once again, let the breath bring you back. Some of you may want to make it louder. That works too. As long as you just draw your attention to the breath and you can tune everything else out, maybe even visually or audibly, that's great. It takes skill too, especially for those of us who live in houses that have a lot of noise. Maybe the neighbors just mowing all the time. Things like that. Start to release and then place the block on the left over to the right side so they're right beside each other now. Turn the toes over to the left side, but keep your back toes tucked. Again, resist any opportunity, any urges to just sink and dump, and keep the fire between the thighs. Keep yourself upright. Lengthen your tailbone down any amount. It actually increases the stretch you're feeling on that right hip, perhaps part of the right quad. Resist any urges to lift the shoulder blades up towards the ears. You don't have to pull them down, just let them relax. Deep inhale. And then as you exhale, turn the toes in or forward. And then the block goes back on that left side. We're going to do our half splits, but right now we're going to pay attention to the angle between the right hip and the right knee. Make sure that they're in line. And then lift your toes away from the prop and then feel that hamstring stretch already. Be a good judge with the blocks. Know where it's at and just know what's the difference between the blocks being closer to the foot, more sensation, closer to you, more support. Send your hips back and down. Lengthen the spine on an inhale. And then find your fold. And as you exhale, feel some sensation in the belly of the hamstring. If you feel a pull in the place where the hamstring meets your glute, if there's just a unnecessary pull and you know that it's just feels wrong, it's like against God's plan. Micro bend your left knee and you're still getting plenty of hamstring stretch, but you're going to get away from that spot, which is great. Inhale right here. And as you exhale, slowly come forward. Heel toe your left foot outside of your bolster. Place a prop on top of the bolster if you wish to do so. Untuck the toes in the back. We're going to get in that wide, slanted lizard. So your elbows and your forearms are going to be on top of the prop. Keep igniting the inner thighs. Notice any changes in the body. Kind of listen to where the energy starts, where that fire starts, and then what parts of the body kind of respond to it. What parts of the body relax because of it, soften because of it, and what parts of the body ignite because of it. And this is how we gain awareness and we gain more intelligence and wisdom about how our bodies react to certain stimuli. Wake up the right butt to help open up the right hip. Notice any sinking, any dumping. And take your last 2 breaths here. Inhale. And then exhale. Palm your furniture, your mat, your blocks. And like I said, you can have both blocks in front of you to kind of hold on to if you want. To place the left foot on top of your bolster. Direct your right ankle behind your right knee. And then point your left toes towards the left. So open it up. Hands on the hips, yeah? Relax the upper body, relax your face. And as you exhale, slowly slide over to the left side. Point your left toes towards the upper left edge of your mat to the left side. Try not to tilt your pelvis back. Try to just lengthen your tailbone down. Liberates the chest, liberates your torso, makes breathing better. The prana just flowing up and down freely, fluidly. Breathe in. Inner thigh action, breathe out. Keep them squeezing towards each other. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Nice job. Slowly release. Let's do that same high kneeling position. Place one of your blocks or your props between the thighs. We're not going to do camel. Just lengthen your tailbone down, squeeze the block, ignite your buttocks, and just stay here for about 2 to 3 breaths. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Remove the blocks out of the way. And so I want you to fold your blanket. I hope you did get a blanket, because we're going to sit on top of it. It just makes it easier on the spine. We're going to get into Gomukhasana legs. And so I want you to bend your left leg first. Your left knee is going to be underneath your right. Snuggle up the right leg on top of the left. And then you can wing your shins out. You can snuggle the knees on top of each other. If there is too much space where you feel like the right knee just wants to lift because your right hip is just not that open, grab a cushion, a block, and just prop it just to make sure that it's supported. If you feel the lower leg just doesn't like this, then just do half. Lengthen the lower leg and bend the right. Again, options. We always have options. So wing the shins out. Do your own shape, hands on top of your thighs. And we're squeezing it in, right? We've had this energetic adduction, energetic squeezing of the legs together. And now that they're actually physically sort of doing that motion, notice what happens outside of the hip. If you're leaning forward, you'll feel sensation on your lower back, perhaps on your buttocks. So you make a decision. We're not going to fold all the way. We're just going to lean forward a little bit. And then breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Grab one of your blocks. Place it on the left side. Place your left elbow down on top of it. Pin your right hip down, and then inhale your right arm up. And then exhale, just lateral bend over to the left side. If it's comfortable, drop your left ear towards your left shoulder, opening up the right neck. Otherwise, just do whatever feels good to your neck. You can even cradle it with your hand if you want. Last breath here, inhale. And then exhale, slowly release. Beautiful. Hands behind you. Untangle the legs, lengthen them out, perhaps do some gentle knee bounces or maybe just shaking them out. And then we're going to get to the other side. Right leg is going to be the bottom leg. If you already know it's crabby, just lengthen it out and then place the left leg on top of the right. Pinning your left hip down as much as you can. Pad the areas that need to be padded. If you just know you're like right over this right side, sit on top of something. That way you can find your nice center energy and you can just feel grounded and centered. Hands on top of your thighs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, you can lean forward if you like or just stay upright. Just notice where you're feeling this at, outside the hips. And letting stuff unravel instead of getting there right away. This is not a Formula One sport where they can go 0 to 200. This is definitely a slower, much slower pace, and you just have to breathe through the phases. Perhaps one more breath right here. After your last exhale, place one of your blocks over on that right side, placing your elbow down on top of it. Pin your left hip down. And then inhale your left arm up. Exhale, lateral bend over to the right side. Tend to the neck. If it feels good for the right ear to be close to that shoulder, let it. Otherwise, cup it, cradle it, protect it. And make it your practice, right? We all have different shapes and different stories. I want you guys to honor what you brought here, your story, your background, your body. Big inhale here, please. And then exhale. Beautiful. Come to center. Hands behind you. Untangle the legs, revisit those knee bounces, revisit the swing of the legs perhaps. And then just cross at the shins. Let's interlace our fingers together behind us. And as we inhale, we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together. Chest may be open, but bring your ribs in. Then lift your arms away from the body as much as you can. Inhale. As you exhale, just fold a little bit forward, perhaps 45 degrees, perhaps not. Just feel that squeezing. Eyes closed or gaze down. Last breath, inhale. And then exhale. Slowly come back to center. Shake the arms first, and we're going to reverse the grip. So a different thumb and different fingers are interlaced. It's the awkward side. Again, open the chest, squeeze shoulder blades together. Weave your ribs in, squeeze it in the back, lift the hands away from the back. And as you exhale, find your nice fold. Oh, and if you haven't, switch the shins. Switch the legs, whichever one it was in front, then just switch. That way we're hitting both sides as well. Try not to hold the breath. Keep it going. One more. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly release. Shake the arms and shake your wrists. And just drop the hands on top of your thighs, on top of your legs, and let the upper body feel relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. They've been plenty opened. We kind of move them as well as the hips. Feel just the difference between now and when you first came in and took this class. Eyes closed or gaze down, or just get your eyelids to feel heavy. Scan the body. Keep the breath fluid. Tune everything out that's keeping you away from right now. And then press your palms together at heart center. Thumbs are touching your chest. Bow your head towards your hands. This is a nice small bow towards yourselves, actually. The inner gurus that you have. Your inner voice. And take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, take a deeper bow into the practice for yourselves, your inner teachers. I thank you so much for taking this class. I hope that your shoulders and your hips and your inner thighs feel good. I hope that you guys feel better now than when you came in to take the class. I salute every one of you that's visited my site. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting from my house and my heart to yours. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Thank you so much. Till next time, and I'll see you. Take care. Bye.